Scene script. Have you ever wondered where the loneliest, most isolated point on Earth might be? Welcome to the intriguing world of Point Nemo, a captivating location that holds the title of being the most remote place on our blue planet. Nestled in the vastness of the Pacific Ocean, Point Nemo has intrigued explorers and scientists alike, not for what it has, but for what it lacks: land. Point Nemo is a place of extreme isolation, a location that is in fact the furthest you can get from land on Earth. It's tucked away more than 1,000 nautical miles from the nearest inhabited landmass. To put this into perspective, the closest humans to Point Nemo are often not on Earth at all, but astronauts aboard the International Space Station orbiting above. The term Nemo might evoke images of a certain animated clownfish, but in this context it derives from the Latin word Nemo, meaning no one. It's a fitting name for such a desolate spot. Named by a Croatian-Canadian survey engineer called Hrvoje Lukatela, who used a geospatial computer program to calculate this oceanic pole of inaccessibility, Point Nemo is a testament to the sheer scale and mystery of our world. Now let's delve a little deeper into the concept of remoteness. In our hyper-connected world, it's easy to forget that places of extreme isolation still exist. Yet here it is, Point Nemo, a place so remote that the most common visitors are space debris, which often come to rest in its watery depths when they fall back to Earth. This isolation and inaccessibility make Point Nemo a place of immense fascination, sparking imaginations and fueling scientific curiosity. But what does it mean to be truly remote? Is it merely a geographical concept? Or does it hold deeper philosophical implications about our place in the world, our understanding of solitude, and our relationship with the natural world? These questions and many more are what make Point Nemo a beacon of intrigue in an increasingly crowded world. This is Point Nemo, the place further from land than any other spot on Earth. So, how does one get to the most remote place on Earth? Well, Point Nemo is not your typical day trip. It's the epitome of isolation, the geographical equivalent of a desert island. It's located in the South Pacific Ocean, roughly 1,400 nautical miles from any land. That's equivalent to the distance from New York to Dallas. But imagine that across open water with no sign of human activity. This journey is not like hopping on a plane and landing in a few hours. It's a voyage that demands resilience and determination. The nearest inhabited landmasses are Pitcairn Island to the north, Maher Island to the south, and Motu Nui to the west. Each of these islands are over 1,000 miles away, with Pitcairn Island being the only one inhabited, and even then, by less than 50 people. The journey is marked by extreme weather conditions. The South Pacific is known for its roaring 40s, furious 50s, and shrieking 60s, poetic names that belie the ferocious winds and waves that dominate these latitudes. It's a place where the sea and sky often merge into one as storms whip up the ocean into towering swells. And yet, despite being surrounded by water, Point Nemo is a marine desert. The ocean here is so deep and so nutrient-poor that it's almost devoid of life. You won't find bustling coral reefs or schools of colorful fish here. Instead, it's a realm dominated by tiny, hardy organisms that have adapted to survive in this harsh environment. But this isolation and hostility have their own allure. It's a place of stark, raw beauty, where nature is at its most elemental. It's a place that challenges us, that pushes us to our limits, and that reminds us of our place in the grand scheme of things. Reaching Point Nemo is not for the faint-hearted, but the journey is as intriguing as the destination itself. So, are you ready to set sail for the world's most remote point? What would life look like at the world's most remote point? Imagine standing at the edge of the world, so far away from civilization, that the closest humans are often astronauts orbiting above. This is Point Nemo, the oceanic pole of inaccessibility. Life here is sparse, yet some species have managed to carve out a niche in this remote and harsh environment. One might expect to find a bustling marine ecosystem teeming with life, given that Point Nemo is located in the Pacific Ocean, one of the most biodiverse bodies of water on our planet. However, the reality is quite different. The extreme remoteness and conditions of Point Nemo make it inhospitable for most species. The ocean here is deep, cold, and nutrient-poor, which makes it challenging for most marine life to survive. But nature is nothing if not resilient. Despite the harsh conditions, several unique species have evolved to thrive here. These include certain types of squid, deep-sea sponges, and even some species of hardy bacteria that feed on the minimal nutrients available. These organisms have adapted to the challenging conditions of Point Nemo, demonstrating the extraordinary resilience of life. Yet even in this remote corner of the world, human influence is evident. Ocean currents have a tendency to collect and deposit debris in certain areas, and Point Nemo is one such collection point. Among the marine life, one can find an unsettling amount of plastic debris, a stark reminder of the far-reaching impact of human activity on the planet. Life at Point Nemo might be sparse, but it tells a story of adaptation and survival. It's a testament to life's incredible ability to endure in the most challenging conditions. It also serves as a reminder of the impact we have on even the most remote corners of our planet. So in the end, life at Point Nemo is sparse, but it is a testament to nature's ability to adapt and survive in even the most remote corners of our planet. Did you know that Point Nemo has a fascinating connection to space? Yes, the most isolated place on our planet also has an intriguing relationship with the cosmos. Point Nemo is not just a testament to Earth's vastness, but it also serves as a graveyard for space objects. Now you may wonder, why would anyone choose such a remote location as a dumping ground for spacecraft? Well, it's precisely because of its remoteness. With the nearest landmass over 1,400 nautical miles away, Point Nemo is the safest place to let defunct satellites and spent rocket stages plummet back to Earth. Space agencies around the globe, including NASA and the European Space Agency, have been using this area as a spacecraft cemetery for decades. They prefer this spot because it minimizes the risk of debris causing harm to human life or property. When a spacecraft has outlived its functional life, it's guided on a controlled re-entry path that targets this oceanic pole of inaccessibility. But it's not just about safety. The choice of Point Nemo also reflects a profound respect for our planet. By directing decommissioned spacecraft to this remote location, space agencies ensure that these celestial travelers don't litter our planet's more populated regions. So far, more than 260 spacecraft have found their final resting place at Point Nemo. This includes the infamous Mir space station, which Russia deorbited in 2001, and cargo spacecraft like the European Space Agency's automated transfer vehicles. These silent sentinels of the deep, covered in rust and algae, bear witness to our species' incredible journey into space. They remind us of our constant strive for knowledge and exploration, our ability to push boundaries, and our responsibility to protect the planet we call home. So Point Nemo is not just a point of extreme remoteness on Earth, but also a unique link between our planet and the cosmos. This unassuming spot in the South Pacific Ocean is where the boundaries of Earth and space blur, where human ambition meets the infinite expanse of the universe. Why does Point Nemo captivate us so much? The allure of Point Nemo isn't just its extreme isolation. It's a place that challenges our understanding of what it means to be remote. It's the epitome of solitude. A place so distant from human civilization that it's often said the closest humans to Point Nemo are not on Earth but in space, aboard the International Space Station. This stark remoteness sparks the imagination. It's a place that's been virtually untouched by human hands. There are no landmarks, no signs of human life. It's just the vast, open ocean and the sky above. This unspoiled tranquility is a draw for explorers and scientists alike, who are intrigued by what secrets this far-flung corner of the Earth may hold. But Point Nemo's appeal extends beyond the scientific community. Its connection to space has made it a subject of fascination in pop culture and literature. It's been featured in novels and films, often portrayed as a mysterious, otherworldly place. Its name alone, Nemo, borrowed from Jules Verne's famous Captain Nemo, embodies a sense of exploration and adventure. In a world that's becoming increasingly interconnected, Point Nemo represents one of the last frontiers of true solitude. It's a reminder of how vast our planet really is, and how small we are in comparison. It's a place that puts things into perspective, that forces us to reflect on our place in the cosmos. In the end, the fascination with Point Nemo is about more than just its geographical location. It's about the human spirit of exploration, the desire to push boundaries and venture into the unknown. It's about the allure of the mysterious and the unexplored. It's about the thrill of discovery and the challenge of the uncharted. It's about our innate curiosity as a species, our constant quest for knowledge and understanding. In its extreme isolation, Point Nemo offers a unique perspective on our planet and our place in